Bangkok is bracing for more heavy rain this week, pushing its rubbish-clogged drainage system to the brink. Authorities have warned of widespread flooding across several districts in the Thai capital. Workers have been toiling hard to clear out canals choked with rubbish to ensure pumps are able to divert water out of the city. Officials estimate about 5,000 to 10,000 kilograms of trash are being removed from waterways every day, and are appealing to residents to properly dispose of their unwanted items. Despite the inclement weather, the government says it is confident it can manage rising floodwaters. Many parts of Bangkok have been underwater for weeks as heavier than usual monsoon rains lash the region. And May Wong joins us live in Bangkok. May, why are Bangkok's drainage systems backed up with so much rubbish? What are authorities doing to tackle this issue?
Well, basically, it boils down to two main reasons. One is the poor waste management in the city, and also people are not thinking twice about littering and throwing garbage into the canals along, in different parts of Bangkok, simply because this has been going on for years and nobody has really taken a very comprehensive approach to tackling this problem. Remember as well that here in Bangkok, it was known as the Venice of the East. That means more than 1,000 canals are spread out across the city, where you have communities living along these canals where they just throw garbage into the canals in order to get rid of them. And also remember here that Bangkok is known for its food. For example, restaurants like this, and also street vendors that are lined up on the streets in various parts of the city, where after they close, they would sometimes throw all their waste material into the drain and dump it into the drain. So that's the reason why it's causing all the drainage system to be inadequate to handle the sudden heavy rain as well as the sudden frequency of the rain. Now it may look dry on the pavement, but let me just show you very quickly that once I step down onto the street here where the vehicles are going by, the water is really, really high and coming up to the level of my shin, if I can just show you. And that's the reason why as well authorities are asking the vehicles to go slow, asking people to monitor their traveling plans, because they are trying their best to try and drain out this water as much as possible. What they have done, as you mentioned earlier, clearing out trash from the canals, making sure that they're removing huge items. I've seen, for example, pillows being discarded into the canals, and also plastic bottles, styrofoam boxes that are being strewn all over the place, and that is really choking up the pumping stations, for example, where authorities are finding it very hard to spread as well as to divert the water away from the city area. So the authorities are working very, very hard and also in overdrive to try and clear up the mess as much as they can.
Oh, May, the waters are up to your shins right now, but we are expecting more rain in the days ahead. What are authorities doing to prepare for this further onslaught that lies ahead?
They have a couple of plans in place. Obviously, they say that this is a rather unpredictable situation in terms of the weather. Well, Mother Nature doesn't really tell you exactly what she plans to do. But they have said as well, this is kind of freakish because the rain is heavier than forecast, and also the frequency of the rain is also much more than they anticipated. And therefore, what they're doing is, number one, for example, setting up sandbags in certain areas to prevent the water from the street like this to gush into some of the homes as well as some of the businesses. Yet another measure that they put in place is to erect a lot more pipes in order to channel the water out quickly from flooded areas into other parts of the city and into the river, so that it doesn't get holed up in one particular area. And finally, also the third measure is they have actually allowed, or rather organized more transportation, public transportation for the people who are stuck in flooded areas, so that they're traveling from point A to point B without getting soaked or without jeopardizing their safety. So all of these public transportation, for example, will be spread out into certain flooded zones so that they can ferry the people safely back to their homes. These are the measures that they have in place. The authorities say they are ready to come up with even more if necessary. They have allocated about 1.6 billion Thai baht, equivalent to about $55 million to take care of flood situations like this. But also the Minister of Natural Resources as well as Environment told me earlier that this is not something that is to be taken lightly.
Oh, thanks.
My concern is going to get worse. with the cycle of El Nino and La Nina together combining with the fact of climate change, we're going to see more severe, more extreme weather coming to Thailand and in the globally. And that's why our ministry has been working very hard on combating the climate change, the carbon credit, replanting the forest, to make sure that such situation like this doesn't get worse. Because 10 years from now, 10 years ago, flood was bad. Bangkok was flooded, and now 10 years later it's getting worse. 10 years from now it's going to get even worse. So that is my main concern, and that is why our ministry has been working very hard.
Better coordination as well as faster reaction will be necessary as the government officials scramble to mitigate this problem here in Bangkok as well as in other parts of the country where things are looking a little bit steep right now in terms of the water levels.
Oh, thanks for that. May Wong reporting live from Bangkok. As she just reminded us, Bangkok just one of more than 20 provinces in Thailand that is seeing severe flooding.